What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday. And we are just a couple days away from the full 2026 NFL schedule release. We are about, well, not even 2.5 days away because it should be releasing on May 14th, which is Thursday. I expect it'll hit about 5 p.m. Pacific. That's when it typically does. Maybe it'll be a little bit different this year. I'm not sure. But it's a very interesting time for football fans and one of the last interesting times we're going to have for a few months. So buckle in and definitely take a moment to enjoy this. This video is sponsored by Prize Picks, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the schedule stuff because we are starting to get leaks. As of yesterday, the leaks have started to hit, and I am sure that every team will be partially affected. So let's talk about that a little bit here. So I got this CBS article pulled up where they talk about the leaks that we already have. And basically the idea is in the lead up to revealing the NFL schedule on Thursday, the NFL is also going to gradually let some information trickle out. And they already have. This is something they like to do so they can stay in the news cycle as much as possible for as long a period of time as possible. Now, as of me recording this video, which is very early on Tuesday morning, there isn't a lot that we know, but I imagine that by the end of today, we'll know a lot more. Now, the good news is, and this is good news for me, because I kind of like to try to do this as a purist, we don't really know anything about the Seahawks yet. And if you take a look at this CBS article, they talk about what we do know. So if you scroll down here, you will see that they have some games listed. And some of this stuff is stuff we just found out in the last day or two. Now, some of this stuff is stuff we've known for a while, and some of it kind of goes without saying, but it does kind of speak to the fact that we are starting to get more information. However, as of this moment, as of me recording this video, the only thing we have for the Seattle Seahawks is what we already knew. They're going to play Wednesday, September 9th in their home opener and season opener, and the season opener for the whole league, 8:20 p.m. Eastern, so 5:20 p.m. our time, NBC. You guys know the drill, right? We get the season opener because we won the Super Bowl. We don't know who we play yet still, and ultimately we knew this was going to happen for weeks, maybe even months now. We also got the 49ers-Rams game on the very next day, but we've known that for a while as well. So some of this stuff is new, like Cowboys-Giants. We learned about that one recently, although the NFL always does Cowboys-Giants week 1 for some reason, so that was not a surprise. We learned what the Thursday game would be in week 2, Lions-Bills. We got a Ravens-Cowboys game week 3. This is a Rio de Janeiro game. We know the Commanders are going to play somebody. We don't know who in London on October 4th, and on and on. A few more games here and there. Texans, Jaguars in London here. We've got the Thanksgiving games. We already know the Eagles are playing the Cowboys, but we don't know the other matchups yet. And a lot of these matchups are just, we don't know who's playing yet. We just know there's going to be a game at this place at this time on this network. So not necessarily a ton of actionable stuff yet. But the nice thing for me, because I kind of like to avoid the trickle, is that we don't know anything about what the Seahawks are doing yet for any of these games. We know who we play, we just don't know when, and we don't know the order. So hopefully it stays that way, but it probably won't. That's just not the way this works. If you like sports, then the best way to make them even better and more exciting is using the Prize Picks app, where it always feels good to be right. Prize Picks makes daily fantasy simple. Just pick more or less on your favorite players and build lineups with a few taps. Whatever sport you're into, and obviously we are now firmly into the NFL offseason, so we're all about baseball. We got some basketball, we got some hockey, whatever it is you like. Prize Picks gives you a fun way to stay locked in while you're watching. Definitely make sure to use the promo code HMA. Prize Picks is hooking up users with $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. If you use that promo code, that is HMA. I've had a great time on Prize Picks so far, so definitely get on over to it, check it out, and make sure to get your lineups. And don't forget about Team Picks, where you can pick winners, spreads, and totals on any major game. So download the app now, use HMA, and get on over to Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And remember, always gamble responsibly. Now, there's one thing that we can derive from this information by process of elimination, right? So the Seahawks play week 1, and they play Wednesday night, the season opener for the whole league. And Thursday, we have the Niners and Rams playing each other. And then Sunday, we have the Cowboys and Giants playing each other. All 4 of those teams are teams that the Seahawks play at home this year. They have 9 home games, and 4 of them are going to be against those 4 teams. So we know now that we're not playing one of those 4 teams in the opener, right? Because it's just process of elimination. So therefore, we actually know that the season opener opponent is going to be one of these 5 teams. And you can look at this list and I think pretty easily do more process of elimination stuff here. I know the Cardinals are a division rival, but it's very hard for me to believe that there's anything going on in Arizona that the league would want to put on in a showcase game of their league to open the season, right? That doesn't pass the sniff test. It would be one thing if they had some new exciting hotshot quarterback, but they don't. Maybe they have Carson Beck, but that's not that interesting. So I don't think it's going to be the Cardinals. I think the Chargers are probably going to be a pretty decent team this year, but that would be hard for me to believe too. The Chargers are not some big market team. They're not some team with a giant fan base that is going to show up and show out for a week 1 game against the defending champions. And while they'll probably be good, I don't know if there's a sense that they're going to be anything over the top special. It seems like just another Chargers team that is pretty good. So everybody's focused on 3 teams: Chiefs, Patriots, Bears. Everyone is thinking it's going to be one of those 3 teams. I really have a hard time believing they're going to do the Chiefs. I know they're saying Mahomes is going to be ready for this game. Mahomes is going to play week 1, but my thing is, it doesn't matter if he plays. Does he play well? And that's asking a lot. Like we have a long established track record of players, and it includes quarterbacks needing time after they return from a major injury like an ACL tear. So the Chiefs, you look at what they were last year. Remember, they were a 6-win team last year with Mahomes. And I know they added some guys, but they also traded away McDuffie. They lost Jalen Watson. They didn't really do much to address wide receiver. Like, there is not a lot about that Chiefs team, even with Mahomes, even if Mahomes is playing pretty good, to necessarily be all that excited about right now. So I just can't see that, especially when we have no guarantee that Mahomes will be able to play. And if Mahomes doesn't play, I don't know who their backup quarterback is right now. I don't think it's Gardner Minshew anymore. I can't believe it's Chris Olave. And whoever it is, there's no universe where the NFL wants their opening game to feature a backup quarterback. So I don't buy it. So Patriots Bears. Now, I know that Barstool Sports tweeted out that it's going to be Patriots, but they're not really a reliable source. They have a vested interest in having it be the Patriots. I'm pretty sure it was just them saying, basically trying to speak it into existence. I I do think it's possible, but at the same time, it doesn't seem that engaging. And I know it wouldn't be a bad matchup, but we just played them. We just played them in February. It was the last game of last season. I don't know if I need the last game of last season to be the first game of this season. There's just something about that that just kind of wears on you a little bit. And look, I'm sure the Patriots are going to be a decent team this year. I don't know how good they're going to be. I think there are a lot of things going on with that Patriots team this year that speak to maybe a hangover season, especially when you combine it with the fact that they were clearly not a very good team last year. And it showed up in the Super Bowl. They got whipped, and they were, I think, very lucky it wasn't a lot worse. So to me, I could see it, but at the very least, what I want to say is it doesn't really engage me as a possibility. I'm not into it. So to me, it's the Bears. And for whatever it's worth, Adam Schefter and I believe Garofalo as well have both said they think it's the Bears. Schefter said, "My guess today is that it will be the Bears in Seattle for the Wednesday night opener against the Seahawks." And to me, the Bears are the team that makes the most sense by far. They are the hot, young up-and-comers in the conference. They're a team powered by a young hotshot coach and a young hotshot quarterback. And I know some people don't like Caleb Williams very much. I know some people aren't really big fans of him or whatever, but I think there's something very special in there that is just starting to really come out. And I remain very, very optimistic about his future. And I believe that Bears team is going to be in good hands as long as they have Caleb and Ben Johnson running the show. So I think that team is going to be a long-term threat in the NFC. And I believe that there is a lot of motivation for the league to have their first game be the defending champions against the young hotshot up-and-comers in the NFC, especially a team like the Bears that has a big fan base and is a historic franchise in the NFL. I know that the Super Bowl era has not been kind to them, but they are very much a historic franchise. So, yeah, I think it's going to be the Bears, and I think the Bears are the team that clearly makes sense. That is the compelling rivalry. To me, I know we played the Patriots in the Super Bowl last year. That doesn't make it a rivalry. The fact that they're in the other conference, I think, kind of disarms that a little bit. So I think it's the Bears all day. I think that they are, of the teams listed here in this group of 5 teams, probably going to be the best team this year. And I think you have the best potential storylines because the Bears are coming for the crown and the Seahawks have the crown. Maybe more than any other team, the Bears are coming for the crown. Maybe you could say the Rams. The thing is, though, the Rams are an older team that is kind of doing their one last ride thing, and they're playing another team in week 1 anyway. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what you think. That's what we know so far. It's not a lot, but there it is.